Finally, it's done. Finally, weeks and weeks of negotiation, weeks and weeks of heartache for so many teams figuring out the domino effect of forwards in the transfer market has been resolved, at least in some parts, with the move of Victor Osimhen finally leaving tonight. The here we go is in. Victor Osimhen is leaving Napoli and moving to Galatasaray, and a footballing environment that this particular story doesn't need or necessitate any particular amplification of conspiracy theories around what it is that's going on in Turkish football right now. The amount of money, the amount of links to the top draw, top level football ecosystem being drawn in that direction like magnetism. Well, so many of them that are being linked, so many of them that may or may not end up at either Besiktas, Galatasaray, or Fenerbahce, does require some investigation when you look at the revenue streams of these clubs. But Galatasaray's move for Victor Osimhen is not something that needs that tinfoil hat that I have been guilty of been putting on too much, maybe a little bit too recently. But Galatasaray, finally, the fans of that club can be happy. They have their man. The story is out. It has been delivered. The here we go from Fabrizio Romano has just dropped. Victor Osimhen to Galatasaray. Here we go. Club-to-club documents exchanged to start in the next 24 hours after a verbal pact has been agreed. Galatasaray will pay 40 million euros now, 35 million euros in 1 year's time. Is that when all that Saudi money continues to flow into that direction? And 10% on future profits, and also a goals-based bonus. Napoli getting their money, not necessarily in the right order that they were hoping to see it, but they are getting their money. Victor can't be sold to any Italian club for 2 years. A little bit of an Italian cop block has been achieved there from Napoli. This is one of the longest, most drawn-out transfer sagas in this summer, for sure. It's been wild. What happens next? What does that mean for the sort of drawn-out effect of other strikers in the market, guys? Darwin Núñez, is he actually going to turn up and make his way to Napoli? We shall see about that one. What about Benjamin Sesko? What does that mean for Manchester United's pursuit of a proper number 9, with Rasmus Højlund being apparently surplus to requirements, with also Chelsea looking for a replacement potentially for Nicholas Jackson? What about Christopher Nkunku? What about Arsenal? Were they going to look for a second move? We were waiting for a domino to fall, and this is a major one. We are still waiting for Gyökeres to the Arsenal to be a here we go. That's not done. I mean, it's a here we go, but it's still not officially confirmed. Rumors out today from Abola that Gyökeres to Arsenal might be hijacked by Manchester United. Maybe this story gives some truth to that, although Ben Jacobs has said that that's not the case. It's wide of the mark. Guys, please do me a favor as we walk through the knock-on effect of this particular story. Smash the like button if you enjoy the story, if you enjoy the video. I do apologize. Sean Butler TV has been in hibernation for months, but I'm getting back at it. Going to be talking to you about all of the different transfer news, views, and clues as we get through the rest of the summer. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell and drop the comments. Let me know your thoughts. So there you go. Victor Osimhen to Galatasaray is absolutely done. We have to now think about what the knock-on effect of this is. Napoli have earmarked. They have earmarked the likes of Darwin Núñez as their next go-to guy, the replacement. Liverpool probably, seemingly, are about to finalize the statement. There has already been a here we go on Hugo Ekitike. We're also waiting on what that sort of impact, or what the impact of that has on on Luis Diaz, who has sort of expressed through the media, at least we're getting the impression that he's unhappy, that he wants to be to have his future clarified. He'd be happy to stay if he was the main guy. But Hugo Ekitike has, of course, now become the main target for Liverpool. If that's the case, then Darwin Núñez is Luis Diaz going to end up at Bayern Munich? If so, is that going to kind of cop block any move potentially for Leandro Trossard from Arsenal. I know we're moving into the realms of left wingers here, but you have to see the kind of knock-on effect that's going on. Whether or not Galatasaray were always going to get this done, Napoli held out for their money. He wanted to go to Galatasaray. They accepted a bid a long time ago. It feels like it was early June, wasn't it, for him to go to Al Hilal in Saudi, but the player didn't want to go to Saudi. He only wants to go to Turkey. He's finally got his move. As a consequence of that, Napoli now have enough money to finally get back to Liverpool and make their move for Darwin Núñez. If Darwin Núñez does leave in the next 3 or 4 days, which I would imagine now is the next logical stepping stone towards this domino effect, then what happens to Liverpool's pursuit of a striker? Is Ekitike going to be enough, or are they going to move in another direction? Are they going to try to go again for Newcastle's Alex Isak? Well, Newcastle United have already said that they're not interested in selling him come rain or shine. But you know what? As my man Heisenberg once said, name anything in life. Name one thing in life that is not negotiable. If Napoli have the money, and they literally look like they've got a really, really good deal on this one, 40 million, 35 plus 10% plus a block on Italian clubs. It's absolutely insane. It's taken forever to get there. And listen, on another video on Football Inc., we talk a lot about this. The Turkish the conspiracy theory there. Like I said, I don't think this particular story resembles any particular conspiracy, but for sure the football fraternity should be thinking a little bit about how it is and why it is that the Turkish teams, those 3 big teams, have got as much money as they have to be able to doing as much as they are doing, and being able to draw the attention of so many top players into a league that until 12 months ago really was a place where people went at the end of the window when there was a week left, when they hadn't quite finalized any particular deal. It feels like Saudi, feels like there's some money laundering, feels like there's a little bit of back scratching going on, both Saudi and Turkey being outside of the realms of UEFA's FFP to a degree at least. And so it feels like there's something going on. Like I say before, I've done some work on this. Besiktas and Fenerbahce, or at least Fenerbahce for sure, part of the Turkish stock exchange. The 3 biggest owners of in terms of share capital are BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. Those same 3 companies also heavily invested in via a bunch of different third-party assets into the PIF fund. The PIF fund obviously involved in Newcastle, and through Clearlake Capital into Chelsea. I'm not going to get into it on this particular video, but there's a hell of a lot of shenanigans going on, guys. And I think this is a story you have to pay attention to. For me, I just wanted to kind of think about this right now. If Darwin Núñez now gets to go to Napoli, if Luis Diaz is going to Bayern Munich and Ekitike is coming in as the replacement for him, and with Diogo Jota's sad passing, we have to now think about, well, who is it that's going to be the 9 in a Liverpool system? Are they going to move for someone else? Are they going to move for? I mean, could they possibly tempt Newcastle to sell? And if so, where do Newcastle go? Do they go after Johan Visser? Would Johan Visser still want to go to Newcastle to play second fiddle rotation for the replacement, or for the minutes when Isak is being rested, or if he's only injured? Are Brentford going to sell Johan Visser after just selling Brian Mbeumo to Manchester United? Where do Brian and Mbeumo go next? Where do they go next? Are they going to go after Ollie Watkins? I think that this particular deal, this particular one, starts now a chain reaction that will affect a lot of teams that are looking for a number 9. There's still a lot of number 9s out there that can move this summer. Sesko is the obvious option for someone. Where will he go next? Will Newcastle United point into that direction if they do sell Alex Isak? Will Liverpool go in that direction if they do sell Darwin Núñez? Tottenham Hotspur potentially looking for another number 9. Dusan Vlahovic, he hasn't found his new home yet, has he? We have to figure out where he's going to end up. I think that there might be a Premier League team calling his name very soon. It's fascinating, guys. It really is. And I just wanted to say that for me, this particular story is one that the kind of echoes of impact are going to resonate through the rest of the transfer window. Let me know in the comments. Do you think there's any shenanigans at foot with Turkish football? Not necessarily because of this story, but because of just generally what else is going on. Let me know where you think Liverpool are going to pivot if they do sell Darwin Núñez. Let me know how Newcastle are affected by that. And let me know the other teams, the other teams that are still looking. Is there any chance at all that Liverpool might come in and steal a march on Gyökeres? That deal is still not done. Arsenal fans think it's done. They're busy sort of feeding off of we've finally got our 9 guy. But as much as Gyökeres has said he only wants to go in one direction, if Liverpool pick up the phone, listen, as a Tottenham fan, we've been here before. Luis Diaz was going to come to Tottenham. Liverpool picked up the phone. That was a done deal. It's happened with Chelsea as well. As a Tottenham fan, it's happened in the not too distant past. It happened with a Chelsea gazumping of ours as well. And I just wonder whether or not this one is going to be the trigger. Let me know the thoughts. Let me know in the comments, guys. Like, subscribe, and comment. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, as always.